Hey everybody, Jason Burmis with his loving dog Karma, and let's talk about how out of touch and out of ideas the mainstream media, the establishment politicians, and the mockingbirds out there really are when they're trying to sell you on grandma oatmeal being the front runner, by golly, in the 2020 election for the Democrats. Now, although they pushed Elizabeth Warren beyond belief last night, she was piss poor. There was nothing exciting about her. There are no answers that she gave that were beyond anything mainline that you heard. And the idea that American voters are going to go out there and vote for this woman is a farce. It's a joke. No one's voting for Elizabeth Warren. Nobody, I don't even know how they're trying to sell this to people. Hey, is there no one else up there they think they can sell to the American public? It seems that way. And why am I really focusing on this? Because if you look at all the polls, all the search results, who do they want to see more of? Tulsi Gabbard. 8 minutes and 22 seconds of time, less than 9 minutes, okay? Which, if you watch my live stream, even before the official numbers were in, I had watched the entire 3 hours. And I said she couldn't have gotten more than 9 minutes. By the way, Tulsi was not that great last night. And let's get it out of the way. I get it. She's CFR. I get it. She's a bit of a gun grabber. I get it. She's endorsed torture. I get it. She's only talking about quote-unquote regime change wars. Big problems with Tulsi Gabbard. But is she shoulders above everybody else up there? You bet she is. It's not even close. And I'll tell you what, she endorsed a universal basic income last night, which I didn't care for either. But when you look at the overall picture, she's the only one calling out Google, the New York Times, CNN for their abhorrent censorship of facts, of issues. And, you have Pete Bootlicker there, basically towing the line with their Syrian propaganda. You've got Anderson Frame the Question Cooper there to basically celebrate Hollywood's marriage to a warmonger. Oh, well, Ellen, instead of asking a question whether it was okay for Ellen, the supposed leftist, to be enjoying a football game with a war criminal, let's frame it as, who's your opposite friend? Let's normalize that behavior. And I'm sorry, I'm not normalizing associating with war criminals that now have been given a pass for their promotion and execution of the phony war on terror. Period. Not gonna happen. And again, the right-left paradigm is extremely false, but we're in election year, and we need as much truth to be told on that national stage as possible. And when Tulsi Gabbard bashes the New York Times, who says, we're some pretty weird Americans, we're some unusual Americans that are behind the Tulsi Gabbard campaign. No, we're people that are sick of the bullshit that is being sold to everybody that's entrenching us in war across the globe. I want you to think now. Pre-9/11, where would we be at if we said, oh, by the way, in 20 years, we're going to be in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Somalia, the Sudan, and a bunch of other places. Would the majority of us be for that? When the economy was booming in the late 90s? When gas was under $1? When you could join the military, especially the National Guard, and expect to just stay in your state, do your training, not be sent overseas for false wars of aggression, and have the media play you an obvious fake video. When you watch that video that ABC put out there, that they reported twice was some kind of a insurgency against the Kurds on the Syrian border, and you see how well lit that original video is, and you see the crowds of people, you know somebody manipulated that on purpose. Is ABC now fake news? Are they going to be deranked on the algorithm, Google? No, they're not. No, they are not. And that brings me to my next point. The false narrative of breaking up big tech by Elizabeth Warren, which, is one of the reasons people chant she's going to break up Facebook. Guys, do you really believe that woman is going to do anything against large-scale corporations? Hell no. Hell no. And one of the things that is never discussed, for instance, are the relationships of these huge megalithic corporations and the government. Let's look at Google and NASA, right? Not only are they working on space programs together, but they're working on quantum computing together. And who's invested in that? Those original D-Wave systems, you can watch some of the press conferences out there, but I'll tell you who's invested in that. People like Bezos, people like Goldman Sachs, and then guys like Bezos will use their Amazon servers in a $600 million contract with the National Security Agency to store their information. So you tell me how you're fucking gonna break up big tech when you got a guy that looks like a supervillain out of a 1960s Bond movie selling everybody in this country everything they can imagine, has his own music and video service that gains ground every single day, has devices across the world, and especially in this country, that are smart speakers that are listening to everything you and your family say, and then running it through an algorithm and selling that very valuable information, because information, folks, is the new economy. That's the reality, okay? That is the new economy. How are we going to take that guy out? Huh? How are we going to stop big tech? It's a technopoly. A technopoly. It's not a technocracy. It is beyond the left-right paradigm. Oh, you're like, well, Google's liberal and Bezos is liberal. Why isn't anyone talking about Peter Thiel? Huh? You notice how that's never a talking point on the supposed left or in these debates? He's the president's technology advisor. He helped create PayPal with Elon Musk. I'm not sure if he's still on the board at Facebook, but he was heavily involved with Facebook as well. Peter Thiel. Oh, wait. Could it have anything to do with him being a board member on the secretive Bilderberg group, a steering member? One of the most coveted positions in globalism? Could it have anything to do with his involvement in backdoor apps like Carbine, which don't even have to be installed on your phone, but be used in a certain region or state to surveil everything you do through your phone and have backdoor access to everything on that device? Could that be it? Could that be the hard-hitting issue you don't want to talk about? And, I would say this. Anybody who's actually watching this, although they have their problems, there's no doubt who's doing the best. And it's Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard, and the media megalithic military-industrial complex cannot push them because they know that they would be too disruptive, even if some of their ideas suck or some of their ideas are in line with what the establishment wants. No, they want to sell you sleepy Joe Biden. They want to sell you cunty Kamala Harris. They want to sell you Grandma Oatmeal Warren. No one's buying it. No one's voting for Elizabeth Warren. She's not topping the charts. The squad out there, the squad. Yeah, they're endorsing the Bernie. Bernie really showed his true colors when they talked about Syria yesterday. His establishment puppet ass. All right? I'm sick of it. Bernie Sanders ain't your savior, okay? He barely brought up Yemen, and when he did, he forgot to point out the fact that both the Congress and the Senate voted to get us out, yet this administration overrode it. Well, that's great you voted against it, Bernie, but what about that part before you passed it when there was an amendment to the bill that if Israel happened to be involved against Yemen with the Saudis, because we have that U.S. Anglo-American Israeli-Saudi alliance in that region, well, if that happened, well, that's an exception. We'll still bomb the fuck out of it. That doesn't bother anybody either. There's no talk of that. There's no talk about reality in these debates. And I think that's the big problem. It's hard covering them. It's hard watching them, but somebody has to do it. But again, if you're looking at the polls, if you're trying to be halfway honest, Tulsi won again. She won again. And the mainstream is obfuscating it and they're propagating that these are Russian and Syrian talking points, and that it's, you know, right-wingers trying to infiltrate the Democratic Party. Bunch of horse shit, folks. So we're at Wednesday. That's my dog. She got the osteosarcoma diagnosis now 9 weeks ago. 9 weeks ago. They gave her 2 to 8 weeks to live. She's looking great. We got dope meds from the vet. She took them for 2 days, and I just couldn't stand to see my dog like that. And I had already started her on the Joe Tippins treatment, if you didn't know. And that is fenbenzidol, CBD, turmeric curcumin, and vitamin E. I'm giving it to her daily. And I got to tell you, she looks great. She feels great. I don't think she's dying tomorrow. I don't think she's dying a week from now. I don't think she's dying a month from now. You never know. But I can tell you this. These last few weeks and past couple of months, she hasn't been in pain. She's been enjoying herself. Karma, let's see that big smile, girl. Let's see that big smile for the audience. Yeah. And it makes me happy because I love my dog. And I know there are a lot of people out there that have pets as well and treat them like family. So, hey, it's worth a shot, right? MyCancerStory.rocks is Joe Tippins' website. We are working on getting him on the program. I'm going to be having Derek Brose of the Conscious Resistance on the program later. He is running for the mayor of Houston, Texas, and he is trying to get included in the debates there. So we're going to interview him and let you guys know how you can help support him. But if you go to theconsciousresistance.com right now, you can see one of his videos talking about the help that he needs. Again, we're going to have him on personally so we can get to the nitty gritty and see what we can do to help him. I want to say I love you guys. Please thumbs this video up, share it with others, and I will see you on the flip side.